Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And why am I standing on this sand dune, Corinne?
We are at the Kelso Sand Dunes in Mojave National Preserve. We are hopeful that we might get a glimmer of sun at the sunset, but it's pretty heavily overcast.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tough tonight. But nonetheless, we're out here anyway. If nothing else, we're going to set up a shot, and we may use this location several times over the next couple days to try to see what the various morning and evening light looks like at this location. So Corinne and I are just in the process of getting set up, and we use pretty much the same process every time we set up our cameras. Typically we set up the tripod first, obviously, put the camera on top, attach the shutter release, and then we make sure that the camera is nice and level. That's the next step. And then we go through the functions on the back to check ISO, to check our white balance, to check our shutter speed, and our aperture. And once we're all happy with those, that's when we can sort of get ready to sort of take photographs. We essentially have no light tonight, so unless something interesting happens right around sunset and the sun breaks through just as it's setting over the mountains behind the camera, we're probably going to get a very cloudy, very flat, very uninteresting evening. In which case we'll be trying to do this again tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll get a little bit better light. We're also going to come out here tomorrow morning and take exactly the same shot. Now right now the sun is setting in the southwest, which is just over that way, and in the morning the sun comes up about the southeast, just over that way. And it's a fairly narrow angle right now because we're in January, what we've found in the past is there are shots that are definitely much better at nighttime or in the morning, one or the other. There are very few places like Zabriskie Point that we were at a few months ago where you can shoot it either in the morning or the evening. It really doesn't make that big a difference. It's a great shot either way. Here we think the shot in the evening won't be quite as good as the shot in the morning.
The Kelso Dunes are quite a bit different than the Mesquite Sand Dunes of Death Valley. There's a lot more vegetation out here, and it can have a inclination towards looking scraggly and not particularly attractive. You can see scrub grasses and small bushes all out in the foreground here. And if I pan down, you'll see some bits of grass and shrubs along the edge of where we're working tonight. Some larger creosote bushes are closer to the camping area. So this makes it harder to get a nice clean shot, and as an alternative to including a lot of this foreground, I've decided to use a 70 to 200 millimeter lens to zoom in closer on the particularly large sand dune in the distance. This is a view out to the southwest. It's quite gloomy and lots of clouds, and they don't have a lot of texture to them. Kind of just bluish gray, just a little bit of shapes here and there. And down close to the horizon, there's maybe a little bit of yellow glow, and I'm hoping that means that the sun might break through just a little before sunset, and we'll get a shot with some light on our sand dune.
So Corinne's still trying behind me here, but I got to tell you, the light tonight has been pretty much a bust for taking the photograph of the big dune out of here at the Kelso Dunes. Corinne, what do you think?
Not so great tonight.
It was really awful, is really what she's trying to say. We're just going to have to try this again.
But sometimes you just have to come out and see what happens, because you never know if you get a late evening clearing.
As we learned not too long ago at Kirikawa National Monument, where we're standing out here in terrible, terrible heavy clouds, and all of a sudden the sun broke through to create this absolutely gorgeous sky.
Magic happened.
Magic happened. If you're not out here, you can't see it. Anyway, we're probably going to wrap up tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Well, we've come out for blue hour, and it's actually just a little before blue hour here. Had to walk out with the lights on this morning. It was pitch dark when we left the truck. Starting to lighten up here a little bit now. So it's going to be, it's an absolutely beautiful, nice, warm morning relative to what we were expecting. So that's nice. Unfortunately, you may be able to tell behind me that we are completely socked in with clouds, and it doesn't look very much like we're going to get good light. There is one possibility. There's a small opening way over there. You can kind of sort of see it, and hopefully we'll maybe get some light through that, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
It's a few minutes after sunrise, and probably you can see behind me there's a whole lot of cloud over on that horizon. We didn't see any sun, and our little opening that we thought might be a potential disappeared before the sunrise. The clouds to the south, over this way where Shawn's set up, got a little bit of color in them, but if we point our cameras in that direction, there's a range of electrical towers with wires running between them, so it's not very picturesque. So it looks like we've had another disappointing session to go with our evening last night. But we're hopeful for later today. Read the weather report yesterday, and it indicated it might get clear today. And we'll come out this evening and see if we can get that shot we were trying for last night.
Well, good morning. It's, as Corinne indicated, a little after sunrise, and there's just really not much that's really interesting. The only place there's really good light, which is over behind me here, really doesn't have a wonderful shot, but I am trying to at least create something out of nothing. So what I'm doing is I'm using the two creosote bushes as my foreground, and then the mountains in the background as being bluish, and then using a two-stop polarizer just to pull in the sky a little bit. So hopefully that'll look nice as I take the photograph. The good thing is the electrical towers are pretty far away, and they're not really visible or really clearly visible, so I think I might be able to get by just leaving them in the photograph, but we'll see when we get it back in Lightroom. Hi folks. Well, it's the next evening. So we shot last evening, this morning, and it's the second evening that we're shooting. And we've gone from having clouds everywhere, thick clouds with almost no light, to having no clouds anywhere. It's somewhat typical of the desert. You don't have to wait usually very long before the clouds clear out and you end up with another bluebird kind of day. So we're going to be doing most of our shots probably before sunset. It turns out that in this kind of a setting, the long rays of the sun will give the dune a very beautiful golden glow, and that'll actually look better than when the sun goes down. The only thing we have to be careful of is there's a set of mountains just over here, And those mountains will start to cast shadows on the framing of the big dunes with the two little dunes beside it pretty quickly here. So another 20 or 30 minutes and we're not going to have a whole lot of dune left that's not shadowed. So anyway, we got to get started, and I'll talk you through the photograph in a second. Well, Corinne and I have come out quite a bit earlier than we would normally. Usually we come out maybe 30 minutes before sunset. We're a good hour before sunset, maybe even a little more tonight. So we brought ourselves on a little beverage to drink while we're waiting. My beverage of choice is tangerine soda water. Not very exciting, but keeps me hydrated and something to do while we wait for the sun to go down.
Well, we're getting closer to the nice low sun that we were hoping for. Shawn wanted to get some good lighting on both sides of the big dune that we're aiming our cameras towards. I wanted to get one where it's more shadowed on the left side and then bright on the right side where the sun is going down. And then I was hoping that I would get a morning shot that would show the exact opposite. But so far our mornings haven't worked out the way we hope, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll get my evening shot tonight and keep my fingers crossed for tomorrow.
So Corinne, what'd you think of the evening?
Well, I got the picture I was hoping for. I'm not sure it's gallery quality, but it was what I had in my mind's vision.
So I think I pretty much got the photographs that I could expect with this kind of evening. I'm a little disappointed because I did want some of the clouds to hang around. So I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to get a little color above the dune, but not to be tonight.
Yeah, it was all or nothing. Too much yesterday and not enough today.
Boy, is that ever the case. So anyway, well, we're going to pack it in here in a few minutes and head back down to the van. And we'll be back out here bright and early tomorrow morning. One last shot.
Well, good morning,
Good
folks.
morning.
It's bright and early and very chilly this morning.
The operable words being chilly and early.
I think it's 20 degrees colder today than yesterday.
Yeah, so we're all dressed up with heavy mitts and hats and neck warmers and gloves and yeah, everything else to try to keep warm.
But there's not a cloud in the sky, and so we may be able to score some of the pictures we were anticipating when we first planned our photo shoot here.
Yeah, and just to bring you back up to speed and to remind you, we're now taking the photograph in the morning. This is our second morning. And today, because we don't have any clouds, we're going to be looking for that lovely light on the right-hand side of the dune as you're facing it. And then the nice shadows forming to the other side. So it's going to be a reverse of last night's shot.
And we're still, a good 20, 30 minutes from sunrise. So we're going to take a few pre-sunrise shots and then see what the morning glow looks like.
One of the things that Corinne forgot to mention is that we're also expecting a windstorm today. And it's just starting to get going now. It'll mostly kind of peak, or not peak, but start really getting going when the sun comes up. So it's going to get windier and windier as we go here for the next 15 or 20 minutes. And it's definitely picking up. I mean, it's gone from dead flat calm, and it's probably blowing about 10 knots already. And it won't be long before it's blowing 20. Well, as you can see, we've come down from the dunes up on the top there where we were photographing this morning.
Yes, we had a technical error where the camera battery ran out.
Yeah, it was really, really cold. It's warmed up a good deal. It's actually about 25 degrees warmer than it was when we were out there this morning, so a little bit more pleasant. Anyway, let's talk about the morning, Corinne. What did you think?
It was what I had hoped for. There was no clouds, but I didn't expect that coming here.
Yeah, I didn't expect much in the way of clouds. It would have been nice to have like maybe a white puffy and maybe a little bit of color in the sky above it, but we did actually get a little tiny bit of pink right around the edges of the dunes as the sun was coming up. But man, it was spectacular when the sun hit them.
Yeah, so I'm not disappointed, and I think I will be able to put together the comparison of sunrise and sunset as my two versions of the dune.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lovely look. That brings this video to an end, and we sure hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see more of our videos, I hope you'll consider subscribing. We really appreciate everyone who has subscribed, and if you'd like to share it with other people who might enjoy it, the content, we'd be very grateful.
Yes, we're very appreciative of that. And if you'd like to know when we release videos, hit that bell button, also down there.
And we love to hear from you. So if you have questions or comments or thoughts, please put it in the comments section below, and we'll do our best to respond as soon as we can.
And until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.